For example, if all of us in this room, right, there's a guy over there who's 7 feet tall. She's a very tall staff. There's a guy who's 7 feet tall, and we try out for the NBA together. He has a better shot than I do.
Yeah.
Because he's 7 feet tall.
Correct.
And he might be better at basketball than
That's
me.
correct.
I'm cool with that, right?
Right.
Because we're being measured by the same thing, right? The rules are public, the goals are clear, the playing field is level. The referees are honest, right? I'm cool with that. The problem is when it comes to life, it doesn't work that way.
How does it not work that way? So explain to me how affirmative action doesn't work that way. Kids being actually they're discriminated in favor of to get into schools.
I can give you a couple examples. One, the metrics we use to get people into school, particularly the SAT. SAT is a terrible predictor of how well you'll do in college, right? There's some data that shows that it's somewhat of a predictor of how well you do your first year, but it's not a very good indicator of whether you'll finish. It's not a good indicator. It's not a good indicator what your final GPA will be. But we use the SAT. It's a terrible metric. The metric also shows that it disproportionately favors middle class people. Take race out for a second. It disproportionately benefits middle class people. And so a middle class kid who's just as smart, just as talented, works just as hard, and may even have the same GPA, won't perform as well on the SAT. I mean, the working class kid won't perform as well as the middle class kid. Not because he or she isn't as talented, but because the metric is broken. And so if I then, from the school, say, look, I'm just taking people on their SAT scores. It's a facially neutral metric. I'm saying, look, I just want the best SAT scores. The problem is it's not actually necessarily measuring how smart you are. It's measuring how middle class you are. Do you see what I'm saying?
Not particularly, no. I don't see how it measures how middle class you are.
Because the test itself, as it is structured, has questions. It has
like fill in the blank
points of reference that don't necessarily measure your ability to reason.
But that's exactly what it does. It measures your ability to reason.
No, I'll give you an example. If I have in it a vocabulary, for example, I'm trying to think of a good one. The classic, almost cliche now, is the one about the yacht, right? Or it'll ask you to complete a logical syllogism. It'll ask you to make a leap in logic, right? To make some kind of interpretation of a text. And if I don't understand a few of the words that are referenced in the text, not because it's on my grade level and I missed it, not because I'm not smart enough, but because this is a sort of fairly normal middle class thing to know, and this is not a fairly normal working class thing to know, then I'm not actually measuring my ability to answer the question.